start with something I've done, and then I'll try it if I have time, and I don't want to monopolize the time we have, with the philosophical underpinning of what I've done. One of the things I've done in Dallas is I've demanded and received from our bureaucracy, which was not easy to do, a full inventory of every city-owned property, period. Everything we own in fee simple absolute, I wanted to know. And then I said, now show me for every one of those pieces of property that we own that it's being used currently or there's an already in place plan to use it. Everything that doesn't meet those two definitions as being currently used or there's not a plan in place already to use it needs to be immediately put in place a plan to sell it or to turn it into parkland or housing, because we don't need to be a land speculator in our own city. We need to be putting this property to use in the areas where we need it. We need more housing. We need more green space in our city. And immediately when we got this report, we found that there were ample opportunities of land that we are currently holding that aren't in a private owner's hands, that we have to go and use eminent domain to talk, and try to, spend tax dollars to obtain, that we could immediately put to use as housing or as parkland. And we have found in every council district, which you kind of have to do when you have a city council at play, you got to give them all something. But there were shovel-ready projects for parks and for housing in every district in Dallas. So what's the philosophical underpinning of that? It's that I don't believe that what we are missing in this country when it comes to solving housing affordability is just some new program that we haven't thought of yet. I think what we are missing is that housing is actually a market. We call it a housing market, but then we proceed immediately to treating it like something that's not a market. It responds to the forces of supply and demand, and the reason housing is so expensive in areas that are growing is because there's actually greater demand to live in your cities because we are being successful, and there's more demand for housing stock than currently exists. So the solution is to build, baby, build, essentially, to unleash the private sector to build more housing. It's not another program. It's how can you cut red tape at City Hall, eliminate permitting backlogs, get rid of outdated zoning, get rid of all the bureaucracy and the slowdowns that cause builders to look elsewhere to build. In the city of Dallas, to be perfectly frank with you, we don't permit as fast as I'd like or as efficiently as some of our farther flung suburbs where they are just growing even faster than Dallas. Dallas-Fort Worth is the fastest growing region in the United States, but Dallas is not growing as fast as some of our outer suburbs, where frankly, they just permit faster and do things more efficiently. To me, that's like phase one of addressing the housing affordability crisis in the United States, is to just unleash the power of the private sector to build more single-family homes to relieve the pressure on the housing market. I do think we also need to get some understanding of what we're talking about when we talk about housing affordability. Everyone means something. If you take everyone in this room separately and ask them, what do you mean by housing affordability? Some people are talking about the median home price in your town for a single-family home. Some people are talking about the availability of rental housing, apartments, duplexes. It just depends on what you ask people. You'll get different answers. I'm really talking about the single-family housing stock, the American dream of owning a home becoming further and further out of reach for more people because we just haven't built enough of it.